you guys, it's me Kiana coming at you yet again today, and right now I'm in the kitchen preparing for my dinner to be ready. It's now about 5 o'clock, and as you all know, I'm on the Atkins diet. So just showing you guys today, I showed you what I had for lunch. As far as for snacks, I just basically had some broccoli, cauliflower, and some ranch dressing. You guys know that's one of my favorites. I don't like the ranch dressing as much as blue cheese, but I ran out of the blue cheese, so had to improvise. Now, as far as my dinner, I'm just basically I had a cheap package of fish, and they were $2 a pack, 1.90 something a pack. Actually, they were on sale. You only get two big healthy slices of fish, and I believe this is trout. So I bought 2 packs of that, and what I did was I divided it in half because I believe that you need to trick the mind, and if you're a person that likes to eat a lot, then what you do is you trick yourself by like cutting certain foods in half, maybe butterflying certain foods, maybe pounding some foods out, and that's just basically tricking yourself to think that you have more than what you actually have. You basically have to find tactics to make sure that you stay on your diet, and whatever works you have to do. So go ahead, mate. Alright, you guys, so what I did was I just basically laid my fish out and seasoned it on some paper towel, and I used a little bit of your Tony's Creole seasoning. I used a little bit of this, and then I used a little bit of black pepper, and also I used a little of the obey. Now, I used all 3 of those, and I didn't use it a lot because I'll tell you why in a second. As by breading, as you know, you can't use bread or bread-like substances or breadcrumbs or anything of that nature with the Atkins diet. So what I do is for my breading, and many of you know this that are on the Atkins diet, but some of you don't, so hopefully I'm sharing something that you can actually learn. You crumble this up until it becomes dust, and these are just your ordinary pork skins. So you crumble this up till it becomes dust, almost like a cracker meal substance. Okay, and this is the tray that the fish came on, so I'm basically making sure I have less dishes by using, what I have, something that I can dispose of and throw away. Now, once you crumble that up to dust, you're going to use this as your breading. And when you do so, after you fry it all up, you're going to come out with fish that look like this. Now, these are just 3 pieces, little pieces, that I already had cooked. And they're already seasoned. And as you can see, it's just like fried fish, you guys. Okay? This is regular fried fish. Okay? And this is without using any bread. This is Atkins friendly. And you too can enjoy fried fish. Make sure you fry it in some canola oil, because that's the oil that they actually suggest for the diet. Or you can use full butter, not margarine. You want to use full butter. Now, as a sauce for my fish, I would use something like this. And what this is just regular ketchup with reduced sugar. And the actual carb intake of this versus your regular sugar is amazing. If you can look on here, you can see the carb intake is 1 gram. And I'm going to show you the carb intake of regular ketchup, and that carb intake is 4 grams. So you can actually see it on here, the difference. You're saving 3 grams, reserving that for a vegetable or something that you would like to have. Why waste your grams on your carb grams that you're allotted? Why waste them on condiments when you don't have to? You can get substitutes, and that's why I show you guys. Other condiments that have no grams of carbs or very, very little are things like this, and you guys see me using this all the time. This just adds a little extra kick to your food, and this is your crushed hot cherry peppers. And you usually see this in deli sandwiches like cold cuts and stuff like that when you order out of sub shops and stuff. This is great. I use this on a lot of items. Now the fish I wouldn't use it for because the fish is a delicate meat, and you don't want anything to overpower because fish does not have a huge powerful taste to it. So you don't want to use something like that kind of spice with your fish. Another item that you can use that has the same amount of carbs as that, which is very little, almost none, is garlic, minced garlic. This is something that you want to keep on hand as well. I already showed you the reduced sugar ketchup. And then this is no sugar added home style relish. It's sweet relish. This is a great product to have. The carb intake on this is 1 gram as well. If you look on the back. Okay, so this is yet again another item that's great for you to keep on hand. This is great because I use this inside of my deviled eggs versus using what I usually would use is a little bit of sugar. You still get the little sweet taste to it, but yet you're not using sugar. So this is great to have on hand as well. And it's great to have also because when you fix your cheeseburgers or bacon cheeseburgers and stuff, you can actually load them up with the condiments. Just be wise with your condiments that you use. Now the fish is already seasoned, and I'll just pan down the camera so you guys can see that. And I'm going to show you the actual breading process. You should have a non-stick skillet, and that non-stick skillet should be a little bit of basically the whole bottom filled with a little bit of canola oil. And this fish is thin, so you literally can stand there and cook it. It doesn't take forever for it to get done. You want to stand there. You don't want to walk away because this is not a thick cut piece of fish. It's not like steak fish or a thicker cut. So by this being thin, you want to stand there and watch it. Just a few minutes on each side till it gets crispy, and then you're done. So, and it does appear and taste crunchy like regular breaded fish. So I'm going to pan down the camera so you can see the seasoned fish, the size of the pieces, and also how to bread it with the breadcrumbs. You're just going to press it down because the fish already has moisture in it. So you're pressing it down, which is going to allow the pork skins or pork rinds to stick to it, as you can see. And you're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Now the opposite side may not have as much, and you don't need a whole pile of this on there. You're just basically getting enough to give you basically a crunch that resembles having regular fried breaded fish. And this is how it looks when you turn on that side. So these pieces are ready to go into the canola oil. The amount of breading for doing these fishes, I've let's see, I have a total of, it was 4 long pieces of fish. I divided them in 2, so now I have 8 pieces of fish, but it really is 4. And actually on the Atkins diet, if you wanted to eat all of this, which is only 4 pieces of fish, you could. So the 4 pieces of fish were split in half, so you're technically only eating 2 whole fish, and they're not huge fish. So obviously if they were $1.90, they're not huge. So if you wanted to eat all 8 of these pieces, you could. But the eye is going to tell you that you have so much that more than likely you're not going to eat all 8 pieces, because your eye is still seeing 8 pieces of fish. So that actually gets me to actually stop eating around probably the 4th piece. I'll be stuffed. So again, that's done and breaded and waiting to go into the canola oil. And what I'm going to do is pair this with some collard greens that I made for lunch, to go with my lunch. They were fresh collard greens. I just simply put some Canadian bacon down in it, a little bit of crushed red pepper, and crushed hot pepper. I'm sorry, not red pepper, and a little bit of seasoned salt, just a very tiny bit. No, I didn't use any seasoned salt, matter of fact, because the bacon already had its own salt, so I didn't have to use any salt. So, now you can also, I also have some squash. I'm sorry, I was looking at Wendy, y'all. I'm sorry. You can also saute some squash up or some zucchini, and I think I will actually saute some zucchini up and have the leftover greens for tomorrow for lunch. The thing with Atkins diet, it's very untraditional as far as the way of thinking that we've all been accustomed to thinking as far as eating and how food, our body processes food. But it's also, you can be very untraditional in the meals that you fix. You may want to have some chicken salad for breakfast, and that's fine because you're still following the guidelines of the Atkins diet, but you're also doing what your taste buds have a desire for. You know, of course, with limits. But so it's a very non-traditional diet, although it's been around, so it should be considered traditional. But it's a very non-traditional diet, and it gives you the opportunity to be very creative. It gives you the opportunity to not have to necessarily deprive yourself, and it gives you the opportunity to try new things and be resourceful. So this is all with the breading of that's all the breading with the fish. We're going to drop that into the canola oil, and next I'm going to start, you're going to just go ahead and discard the rest of that. I'm going to go ahead, and then once this is dropped into the granola oil, I'm going to go ahead and start sauteing some of these zucchinis that I have. And I'm a huge squash lover, you guys. I love squash. So this diet is actually getting me to try different vegetables that I haven't never tried before. Believe it or not, I had never ate zucchini before. So I tried it a couple of days ago, and I liked it. It's quite similar to squash to me. And by me being able to use butter, I saute it in butter, or either I just use a little bit of water and let it steam a little bit, and then add a little bit of butter at the end of the process. And it turns out really, really good. I'll also be trying asparagus. I've never in my 30-something years tried asparagus, and I'm going to try that as well. But like I said, it allows you to be very creative, and it allows you to think outside the box. It allows you to learn a lot about your body, and that's one of the reasons, besides being able to indulge in some foods that normally I thought were, or we were trained to think that were fat or fattening or what made us fat. It was the combination, after all, of those foods that actually makes us gain weight. So it just basically, it teaches you a lot about yourself. It teaches you a lot about your body internally. It teaches you a lot about why you eat and why you've become so overweight. So I'm enjoying that, and I'm enjoying also being able to have the flexibility of being creative. So I'll be back and be able to show you guys once I plate it. I'm just going to slice this up and saute this, and then add a little bit of black pepper, a little teeny bit of salt, and that's it. So I love you all. Be blessed.